In this video, I want to talk to you about Claude design, why I kind of hate it, because I don't think it's worth the token consumption when you can get the same, similar, or even better outputs using Claude code directly, especially if you're kind of building web apps or any kind of automations, agents, or applications. I just think Claude code wins. Of course, like even from a design system point of view, which is basically what Claude design is supposed to do, Claude code, if you give it the right references, just using the right screenshot, which is the same context you would need to give to Claude design anyway. I think Claude code just performs way better and is way more efficient in terms of token consumption. So in this video, I'm just going to show you a few examples of what I did using Claude design, how it burned through my entire token usage twice, and why I stay away from it and just do everything in Claude code instead. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So if you are on the Claude kind of homepage and you click on this design, it will take you to this view, or you can just head over to claude.ai/design directly. In here, you will see a bunch of different options that Claude design can help you with, right from slides to product prototypes, product wireframes, documents, animations, and blank canvas. I tried the document, product prototype, wireframe, slides, and I'm going to show you some of those outputs now. Okay, so this is the interface you see when you're inside Claude design. Now, the first thing you would want to do is set up a design system. As you can see, I've got a few set up already, but you can always create one from scratch. Now, it gives you two options to use Claude code directly. Like if you have an application or something you build using Claude code, using anti-gravity or VS Code, this is one option. The other one is if you were creating one from scratch, so you would just click create here. You can give it a company name, so I'm going to give it the 100 AI. Now, if we had a code base, then I would give that to Claude as well. So it also gives us the options to link code from a computer, add any fonts, logos, or assets, and Figma files or anything like that. Now, because I don't have any of this in here, we're just going to ignore this for now. I'm just going to give it my website domain, which is the 100ai.com, and say it primarily uses /100 lime, which is a keyboard shortcut that I have for some of the colors I use. And these are my primary colors, my main fonts, Neotech and New Amsterdam, as well as Roboto. And I would say, can you please fetch everything you need my website directly to build a design system? And we are just going to continue to generation, and it will take about 5 minutes, it says. So it's going to create our design system, and then we will see what Claude comes back with. So I've done this process before, so just to show you the outputs of that, if we come back into design tab, you can see in my design systems for the 100 AI example, you can see that it has these different components that it has saved. Now, this I generated using Claude code, but the process works exactly the same. So there are different components like an accelerate page, a course page, a one-on-one page, roadmaps, thank you page. And then I used it to generate this landing page as well, which is what I will show you now. If we come into this tab, so once you have a design system set up, right, which is what Claude design is currently building, you can give it a prompt like this and saying, using the 100 AI design system, can you please create a SaaS landing page for an AI app that allows users to save any piece of content they find on the internet and query it like they would a second blade. So it generated this for me, which looks really cool, like I won't deny. It's used a dark theme despite having a primarily light theme for most of my pages, right? Like as you can see here, most pages are light. Maybe there was one page that was dark, but this is the SaaS landing page that it generated for me. So I'm not sure why it used a dark theme, but it still worked really well. Like I love the layout. I think it does look good. But at the same time, the amount of tokens this use, so I currently use the Claude Pro plan, and this took about 40% of my token consumption just to build this. So this is a very similar website that I had built completely from scratch, and you can see each and every one of these sections were just inspired by dribbled screenshots and follow-up prompts. And you can see how many sections I have in here with so many graphics, so many effects, so many testimonial sections, so many the scrolling banners that you saw, these sections. I have many UI elements in here. I have these card components. I have how this ordering works, a WhatsApp integration, a prescription people can upload via WhatsApp, and these animations for these cards, and a patient portal that will be building soon, and a similar bottom banner effect. Now, all of this was built in Claude Code on the other hand, and took like less than 3 or 5% of my entire session usage. So I'm still not clear why Claude Design uses so much of its token consumption, and this is irrespective because I tried using it with Sonnet, but I'm not sure if it took that or if it just uses Opus under the hood for everything. But basically, yeah, it blew through my token usage. It used about 50% of it for the single prompt to generate the single page. Whereas if I did this in Claude Code, on the other hand, inside VS Code or Anti-Gravity, it would have done it with a fraction of the token usage.
If you're a 9-to-5 employee and you currently feel overwhelmed with AI, on one hand, you're scared that it might take your job, but on the other hand, you're excited about the fact that it could help you work less and finally start something of your own, then I'd like to give you a free gift, which is this 100 AI scaling roadmap, which is based on 200 hours of me looking over all the businesses that I've helped implement AI and automations for across civil engineering, law firms, and so many more. And so what I did was I broke this down into 10 stages that take you from complete beginner and someone who's never even used ChatGPT before to top 1%, where you know how to build any automation and any agent, whether that's for yourself, your company, or your business. And so I made this kind of quiz thing on the website. You can go to it at the100ai.com/roadmap. It's completely free. And if you put in your information there, it will tell you which stage you're at, what you're currently struggling with, and what you need to graduate to the next level. You can check out the link. It will be in the description, or you can just go to the100ai.com/roadmap.
And another example of what I tried generating with Claude Design is just an updated resume. So earlier mine was more a plain text doc, and using the same design system that I had to update my resume. So it's done a pretty decent job, I would say. Used all of the colors and the schemes and the design. It's improved the layout a bit because the earlier one was more just a simple text-based layout, and it's given us these sections, which I don't think is bad. But again, I think to generate this entire doc, it took about 20 or 25% of my usage on the Claude Pro plan. So again, I think this is something that Claude Code would have been easily able to do for a fraction of the cost. But these were a couple of examples that I've used Claude Design for. The other components that you see on these pages are pretty much components I built the entire 100 AI website from. So all of these other pages, instead of using Claude Design or anything like that. So all of these sections, 100% with Claude Code. Roadmap page. By the way, if you haven't checked out the 100 AI scaling roadmap, please go and check it out. It is a complete 10-stage roadmap to help you go from complete beginner to top 1% with AI. So just to show you another example, this was a low fidelity design that I used Claude to generate. So if you come into Claude Design and you choose the product wireframe, which is lo-fi screens and flows. So if I come in here, I gave it the same content idea of what I was trying to do, build this second brain application. But in this case, like, it has used a different color scheme, different fonts and things like that. I'm not sure if it just didn't pick up the context that I gave it of my design system, or if it just chose to do it in this lo-fi way instead. I think it got the idea and it generated some really good screens. So it has different sections. So this is the home section, the save to Memex or Memex, whatever it has named this application, which is designed to save any piece of content you find on the internet. There's a YouTube ingestion form, a content waterfall system, a content ingestion page, a search page using vector storage. It obviously doesn't know that it has just generated the screens for us. How do you annotate some text or transcripts, a settings page, and an onboarding page if I wanted to build a browser extension. So I don't think this was bad. It didn't pick up the design system, but it generated all of these screens. Now, building these lo-fi screens took about 40% of my token usage on the Pro plan. I don't know, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Like, it did a decent job, but I think the same outputs are things I would have gotten with Claude Code in a fraction of the token usage. But this was basically what you can do with Claude Design. And another thing that I did try with Claude Design is the product prototype. So I wanted to see what the interactive app mockups it could generate for me. But after going through it a couple of times, it just failed to generate the output. I'm still going to give it a shot, but it blew through 50% of my usage and it did not give me a result. And I got pretty annoyed with it at one point, and I said, is there any file or system ready that I don't see? And even after refreshing it, I still couldn't seem to find the entire file. So that was my experience using Claude Design so far. It is still working on our initial design system. So once this is done, I'm going to come back and show you the final outputs. I don't imagine it will be too different from what we had set up using Claude Code inside of VS Code. So if you wanted to do it the VS Code route, you would just click on Design Systems, you would click Create, and then when it says Create using Claude Code, you basically just need to run this /design sync inside your project. So if I come in here, you can see that I have just run this entire command. So I said, can you please run /design sync for the 100 AI repo of mine? If you check here, Claude Code has this command to run design sync, right? So it has run. This was basically the system that it generated for me, which is this SaaS landing page and a bunch of other pages that I had already given it from inside Claude Code. Okay, so this was the final design system that Claude gave us based on a website. It basically pulled the colors and the fonts across, which wasn't bad. But in terms of using this design system to be able to generate any assets, I think this only makes sense if you aren't using VS Code at all and you really wanted to stay away from Claude Code completely. But I think that's a massive trade-off to make, because the design system and the token consumption usage inside Claude Design is so much higher than what you get with Claude Code. And whether you are building AI automations, agents, or applications, it is just so much cheaper, faster, and more efficient to do it in Claude Code instead. Who knows, maybe Claude Design will actually get better soon, but in the meantime, I see absolutely no reason why anyone would use it over Claude Code instead. And so while our design system was still being built, I opened up this chat with Claude and asked it, what are the benefits of using Claude Design over Claude Code? I've noticed time and again that Claude Design just burns through my token usage almost 10 times faster than Claude Code. So it says that's a real known trade-off, and the honest breakdown is Claude Designs are essentially running a much heavier loop under the hood. So every iteration involves rendering plus visual feedback cycles. It's not just generating code, it's evaluating the visual output and then revising. So that reflection loop multiplies token usage significantly. I'm still not sure why it does it. It also says Claude Design has more verbose internal reasoning and some multi-refinement, because design tends to iterate visually, which means regenerating large chunks of code repeatedly rather than small surgical edits. But that still makes no sense because when you're working with Claude Code, you can just give it prompts about sections you want to change, colors you want to change, different screenshots, different examples, and it still works super seamlessly. So it says when Cloud Design is actually worth it is if you need a polished pixel level mock for a client pitch and have no designer. If you just have any kind of visual reference and you use it with Claude Code, it gives you 10 times more stunning results than what I get with Claude Design. In most cases, even the worst or a very average kind of Claude Code output is equal to the best kind of design that I've seen Claude Design come up with. So I'm really not sure why people are using Claude Design, if at all.